Hey guys, welcome to Gadgets 360. My name is Pranay, and if you've been watching our videos by now, you know that I care a lot about the iOS ecosystem because I am an iPhone user and also about privacy. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the most recent privacy-related controversy around TikTok, which is a viral social media app that I do not need to introduce at this point. So TikTok was accused of spying on your clipboard, which is all the information that's stored when you copy something and later when you paste it, that information is accessed. So TikTok was accused of spying on this data and it fixed its app last week to address this issue. It's no longer snooping on your clipboard. So what is this issue about? What should you know? Should you start worrying about what you copy on your phones? I'll be explaining all of these things in this video, so be sure you watch till the end to get all the information that you need. Before watching this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified when we publish new videos. Alright, so let's get this video started by talking about what exactly is the issue. First of all, Apple released iOS 14. The developer preview, which is an unstable build of iOS, was made available. And then a lot of people installed this on their smartphones and on their iPads. And after that, they noticed that one of the new privacy-related features is that whenever you paste something into any app, it will show you a notification. Let's say you paste a URL into Safari, it'll say that Safari pasted from wherever you copied the data from, that is. So once this feature was implemented and people opened the app TikTok on their iPhones, they noticed that while browsing through the feed, just randomly watching videos, they would see that notification repeatedly saying TikTok pasted something again and again. So when browsing through the feed, why does an app need to paste anything, right? Why does it need to access your clipboard? So let's say you went to the search tab in TikTok and you wanted to paste something there, and over there it is accessing your clipboard. Once you've hit that cursor over there, then it's a different matter. But even before that, it was constantly accessing your clipboard. That was the heart of the controversy. A lot of privacy related issues surface here. First of all, let's say you copy your password for some other app and then you get distracted and you open TikTok. And if it's accessing your clipboard in the background, then it can see your password, right? And that is exactly why this is a serious privacy issue. TikTok, to be fair, fixed this issue later, but you should also remember that TikTok was called out for the exact same thing about 3 months ago, and at that time it said it would fix this issue, but it clearly did not. Only when iOS 14 began shaming apps for unnecessarily accessing clipboards did we see this issue to be permanently fixed, or at least I hope it is permanently fixed now that the update has been issued. So iOS obviously brought this issue to light. TikTok's controversy came to light, but is TikTok really the only app that's accessing your clipboard? Well, the answer is no. My colleague Aman Rashid, who you must have seen in our tips and tricks videos, he does a lot of tutorial videos on Gadgets 360. He went and did the research. He saw about 60 apps. He checked all of them individually to see if they were accessing our clipboard data. And the good news is that we found that most popular apps from India are not accessing your clipboard data, but quite a few still are. So we checked out about 60 apps or so, and we found about maybe 10 to 15 that are accessing your clipboard data. Now, another important issue to address right here is, before I name the apps, is that just remember that not all clipboard access is bad clipboard access, okay? So let's say if an app is accessing, for example, Google Chrome is one of the apps that accesses your clipboard. So let's say you open Google Chrome, you tap the URL bar, and after that it accesses your clipboard to make sure that your URL is automatically pasted there. Then that's not exactly bad clipboard access, is it? It's because Google Chrome has this feature that allows you to paste a URL and immediately open it, or maybe they just want to make your workflow smoother. So let's say on the smartphone, tapping one extra thing is also something that feels like a big load to me. So in case you open an app and it's automatically pasting something so that you only have to tap one button instead of two, then that's fine, right? So in that particular case, it doesn't seem malicious, but then in the case of other apps, I'm not entirely sure if that's true. So without getting too sidetracked, let's just focus on the core problem here. It's that quite a few apps are accessing your clipboard the moment you open them. So this can be a bit of a problem, especially if you have this habit of copying a password or sensitive banking information and pasting it in your banking app, and then you don't clear your clipboard manually. Like, there are ways to do that by just copying some random thing so that your password is not on your clipboard anymore. If you forget to do it and you open a third-party app, let's say whatever it is, Truecaller, Google Chrome, whatever else, then that app can access what's on your clipboard, right? So that is exactly why this can be a bit of a problem. So we found that quite a few prominent apps such as Boot, which is a streaming app, Truecaller, which is a very popular app for blocking, maybe screening spam calls, I should say. And apart from that, also a couple of apps from Google were accessing your Clipboard. So in Google's case, it seems to be justified. Truecaller is probably doing it because they want to see if there's a number on your Clipboard and prompt you to search for that phone number on Truecaller. So they're all doing this maybe from a good place. Maybe they're not coming at it with a malicious intent. But at the same time, now I think because of iOS 14's release, a lot of app developers are going to be a lot more sensitive about when they access your Clipboard. So a bunch of other apps are also accessing Clipboard data in our tests, apps such as Beam and PhonePe and even Chingari, which is some kind of a TikTok clone that has a logo that looks a bit like Tinder, also uses your Clipboard data. So some of these apps may be doing it for legitimate purposes and some others may not exactly need to access your Clipboard data. We're just letting you know because this is something that you should know. In iOS 14, you will get notified for sure, but how many of you are running iOS 14 right now? It's an unstable developer preview that you should not be running on your primary device. So if you're on iOS 13 or if you're on Android, then you probably don't even know that these apps are accessing your Clipboard data. So it's best that you know. On gadgets360.com, there is a news piece that highlights all the apps that we tested and which ones were accessing your Clipboard data and which ones are not accessing your Clipboard data. A total of 60 apps we've tested. My colleague Aman Rashid, who does tips and tricks for us, he's done all the testing and the news piece is on the site. Definitely go check that out. Now, apart from this, you should also question what is happening on Android. Now on iOS 14, we know that this feature is coming. There's no such feature on Android. So do you really know which apps are accessing your Clipboard data? Do you even pay attention to the stuff you copy? Now I think you should start doing that because if you're copying sensitive information and apps can access it in the background, then you really need to start worrying about whether your data is in the right hands or not. I would really worry if my banking password or my sensitive email addresses, which I don't want in the public domain, have been accessed by these apps. That's something for me to think about, and you should do that too, because on Android you will not get notified about these things. So on Android things work a little differently because apps have more access to data in general, but even then I would like to see a feature that notifies you of apps that are accessing your Clipboard data in particular. Now I know there are a whole bunch of other privacy related features that are there on iOS and not yet there on Android that I would like there first, but this is also one of those features. Now if you're using an Android phone and if you're copying things, just be a little careful about what you copy. Things like passwords, your address, PAN card number, or any other sensitive information, try not to copy that. And if you're copying that, try not to open apps that don't need it before you erase it from your Clipboard. That's the best bit of advice I can give you right now. And of course, I mean, even better is just to not copy these things in the first place as far as you can avoid it. But you know, we live in a world where most of our payments, most of our transactions, they happen through our smartphone. So we just have to be a little bit more careful for now until Google also adds this kind of a feature to Android. So that brings me to the last thing before we end this video, which is that in the future, I would really like a privacy setting which allows you to restrict Clipboard access for certain apps. For example, let's take the example of TikTok once more. I would like to disable TikTok from accessing my Clipboard at all. Like whatever I copy, even if I'm opening TikTok, it should not be able to access that data. If I manually paste something, then sure, it should be fine, but the app should not automatically be able to see what's on my Clipboard. That's a feature that I want both on the next version of Android and hopefully on an upcoming version on iOS as well. So with that, we'll end this video. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. If you have any further questions, if you think I missed out on something, definitely let me know via the comments. I'll try my best to answer all of your questions. And also let me know if you found this video helpful. For all things tech, as always, go to gadgets360.com where we covered this news and a whole bunch of other things as well.